Hello and welcome back to Farming Simulator 22 and ballyspring. Right, so it's day 2 in September. I have picked up the bales that we did in the last episode, so they're on the trailer, ready to go. Used the Ford for to get the 7610 out, because it's probably the one tractor we didn't use in the last episode, so I thought we'll get it out and start hauling these bales away. And we've got a good amount for this field. I'm quite happy with it. Got a few plans for this episode. I'm going to be doing a bit of mulching in this field, and the one we started off right at the bottom corner of our kind of plot, well, it's the top corner, and we're going to start it off in that one as well, because that was in a harvested state with a bit of weeds, so we may as well work on them. I mean, it's a bit of a mess at the moment with the fields, just because of the fact we've got a lot of grass fields that we want to actually turn into crop fields, and then we've got this crop field that we're going to turn into a grass field. We've got a lot of lime to spread. We do also want to try and maximise as well our environmental score. So we're going to be trying to kind of just organise things as we go. But also we need to chop this grass. So I don't want to make these fields, for example, these 3 fields here, into crop fields yet. Just because of the fact I do want to get the grass off them when they're fully grown. So we're going to have to try and time it well. And looking at the crop calendar, we got until November to plant. But by doing that, we're going to be in late September when we harvest. So we really do want to try and get sorted probably in this month. So it's going to be one of them where we try and figure out what we're doing in what field. Luckily, we can start on this field, and we can also start on this field, because I believe this field and that one, or it's this one, sorry, that one and that one are ready to mow. So we can obviously plant in the grass seeds in these two, because these are going to stay as grass fields, but we do want to try and improve our environmental score. So we're going to replant in the seeds. We're going to obviously sort the lime out, fertilizer, all that good stuff, and tillage we're going to sort out by direct seeding into every single one of these as well. But this one, as soon as we've mowed that, we could then plough it up if we wanted to. Probably better to plough, because then we're not going to get weeds on that first year of crop. And the same goes for this one. We could plough in, but then again, we want to direct seed, so we'll figure it out along the way. We'll see what the best route is to take. If we have to tend to the weeds, we'll do that. We've got a weeder. Probably going to go down the route of using a manual weeder than using herbicide, just because herbicide, even though it's probably best to do the spot herbicide that you can do, the hot spot spraying, that's the best environmental score you can get. But the problem with that is you take a decrease of 15% when it comes to the harvest, and I'd rather have, you know, like an 85% environmental score and then just take full yield, because I think the bonus amount that I get is probably works out a little bit better to do it that way. So that's what I'm going to aim for. I'm going to aim for manual weeding. Not going to plough unless I need to, but I don't think I'll need to in these. I think I can just, you know, direct seed straight in as long as I sort the ground out first. And I think we should be all right. So yeah, there's plenty to do, but we may as well start on the fields that are ready. So these two, obviously, now that they're in a harvested state, we can start working on them. So we're going to do that in this episode. But then also going to mow these 3 fields. We're going to mow, we're going to probably ted 2 of them and make 1 for grass silage. It's going to be a busy episode where I do 3 grass fields. Hopefully by the end I'll have 2 with some hay bales in and 1 with some obviously silage bales that are fermenting. Now I might not get all that done. It might be that we just finish off with some rows in one of the fields or something like that, but that's what we'll aim to do at least. But it's a lot of work to obviously try and put into one video. But first, before we do all that, there's a couple of things that I want to just point out. So the first thing I want to just quickly say, in the first episode I got a comment that stood out to me, which was that you can use chainsaws on the hedges. So obviously with this one, in the last episode, I was reversing in, kind of coming down this kind of path into the gate, and it worked a treat really at that point, but ideally you'd want that to be a wider gate. So this guy in the comment section, I forget the name, and really apologise for that, because I'd like to give you a shout out. You know who you are, but you definitely have helped me out, so thank you very much for that. I did try this out. You can actually get a chainsaw and chop down, and there's a point where you'll see the chainsaw go green somewhere. There you go, I got it then when it went blue. Where are you? Just to prove it is there, a real thing. You do find it eventually. But anyway, you can chop. There you go. I just got it then. So you can chop down and make more space. But then we're left with the gate. And the problem with the guy is he didn't know how to remove the gate. But I can go into GE and remove that gate. And the beauty of that then is the map itself actually gives you options to put in your own gates. So if we go to construction, decorations and fences, there's one, these two. There is a few here that you can see. So I guess that's the one that's already in. It is about the same size. There's also this rusted gate, which I do like. And it is actually a bit wider. You can see that that's going to give us more room. But there's another one of the same one there. But there's this one, which is a double gate, which is a bit like the prefab you can get that is on the mod hub if you wanted a prefab. It's by... I actually do have it converted as a prefab, so you can see that the Bullet Bill made the gate as a prefab, so I can put it into... It's a mod for me, so I can have it on any map. But yeah, you can see, I think the guys made the map, Ballyspring, has actually done the exact same thing, so you can use that as well, which is really good news. So we're gonna put that in. I'm gonna move that out with GE for the next episode. Put a few fences here, make it extended out, but it just means we're gonna have the larger, obviously, gate entrance, and it'll suit us. And we can do that on the other fields as well. If it's a bit of a tight squeeze where I'm struggling to get round, even with these small, obviously, tailored tractors and equipment that I've got, we may as well widen it out. Why not? If it makes our life a little bit easier, it's probably something good to do. So the next thing that I want to point out is absolutely amazing, and it deserves one of the biggest shout outs ever. I love AutoDrive. I absolutely love it. I think it's a helpful mod. It really just changed the game for you. But setting up an AutoDrive network can be a massive task. Luckily for us and everyone else that uses AutoDrive on PC, there is a guy, he has a YouTube account and his name is the AutoDrive Guy. I'll put a link in the video description to his channel. Go show him some love, go subscribe, give him a thumbs up on the video. And what he does is pretty much all the maps he's made an AutoDrive network for, and then obviously shared them. So I'm going to quickly now show you the one that I've got for Bally Springs. Now this took 250 hours to make, so there's a lot of time and effort's gone into it. But the good thing about it, it takes me 30 seconds to download, if that, and put into the map. And now I've got a full AutoDrive network ready to use. And I mean, it is massive, massive. Look at all these waypoints. Look at it, it's insane. Brilliant work. Such a helpful thing to have an AutoDrive network this sophisticated on the map as soon as I start off. But you can see all the waypoints to all the fields, every sell point. And to give you a better aspect, because I'm in editing mode right now, if you jump into the tractor, get up the AutoDrive menu, change it into editing mode, and then go into the workers menu here, you can actually see all the tracks. So obviously the two-way ones, the blue, single path, green, all that kind of stuff, all the waypoints and where they lead to. If you go down to here, you can see the BJ's got all these set up along the way. There's so many different types of routes here that it's insane. I mean, I've got a 3090 Ti graphics card, and you can see, I don't know if it's probably going to be using the CPU for this, probably more the CPU, but you can see that it's got a lot of lag because there's so much information that it's trying to process through when you're in editing mode. And the good thing about it is my farm as well is all set up. So I've got waypoints for my farm already done, probably to feed as well. It's very impressive and a massive help. So yeah, video description, you'll see the link to his YouTube channel. I'll also link the video to Bally Springs, which in the description of that video on his channel, you'll see the link to download this AutoDrive config XML file. And all you have to do, drop it into the save game folder that you're playing Bally Springs on. So if that's like save game 5, for example, go into the folder, put it into that, replace it with your AutoDrive XML config, and then you'll have a network just like this. It's that simple, So yeah, go give showing some love. Go thank him for the time and effort and the work he's put into it, because, you know, I mean, 250 hours, and it's simple for everyone else to play, and he's sharing them. So massive respect to the auto drive guy. Right, so let's just quickly jump back in here. And what we'll do, so we don't get a bit of lag, is we'll change it off editing mode. Now, just to quickly show you, if we go back into the map now, you can see that the lines go off. So if you ever wanted to see the lines, you just need to enable editing mode within auto drive, and then you can actually see it. So it's nice to have that kind of feature anyway now, so I'm happy about that. Anyway, let's get these going. We're going to get some workers going in this field. We're going to do some course plate. We're going to do some mulching in both fields, but like I said, we're going to have the help of course plate to do this, and we're going to focus on the grass work. So let's get a couple of headlands on the go here, because we have got collisions on the hedges, so we don't want any problems that could arise with that. We'll start work on the up in the centre. Yeah, probably best to do that. And don't need to skip a row because it's not a bad turning on that. And I might bring this in just a touch, just so I don't touch. I have less chance, should I say, of touching the hedge. So we'll generate that course. We'll have a quick look at it. I'm happy with that. I hope that's the right width. I probably should check that, because that sometimes does happen. What have we got here? 4.7 meters. I think that is right. So before we start her off, let's just confirm that. Instead of faffing about. Where are you, mulcher? There we go. So yeah, 4.7 meters. Happy days. So lift her up. We'll just drive it down just to make its life a little bit easier. I mean, we could actually use the auto drive route at this point to start up, because we're in the field, we're not going to need to do that, but we may as well start it off from here. Now, this has a 90 horsepower requirement, and luckily we've got 120 on the Massey, so we're going to let it do that. And there we go. So just let that do its thing, and we can go and jump back into... And we can jump into this. And I will sort that gate out, promise you. Next episode, I'll show it in action, and yeah, we can get that gate sorted out. So it looks pretty good. I think he had to swing around. I started him on the wrong way, didn't I? Oh well, at least he's cracking on. I did actually notice as well that I got some milk income. So, because we've passed the 1 day mark, and I have got the mod that automatically sells milk every day. I like that because it kind of simulates the fact that you're a farmer that's selling milk. It's probably come to collect the milk from your farm and all that kind of stuff. And I'm using it, and I noticed the milk, got some income from it, which is strange because I don't have any cows that are producing milk currently. So I do know that some of the farms, when you purchase them, it starts off with animals on. So it's making me think that I might just purchase all the other farms, take all the animals out, and then obviously sell them farms again and bring my money back to where it was before, just so I'm not taking some income from milk that actually isn't being produced on my farm. Might be something we need to do. I see we can work in this field here, and the gate, it's good to know, is there. And the far end gate, I'm sure, is at the top of the field, but we'll have to check. Still get my bearings. I've just realised as well this 7610 probably wasn't the greatest tractor to be hauling up these bales, but we'll get there. Like I said, probably in this exact spot in the last episode, slow and steady wins the race. It really does. Now, on a bit of a negative note, we have actually lost a few sheep, unfortunately. So I have got the enhanced animal mod, which is really good because it means that you can, obviously your animals, it's more realistic basically. Your animals can die if they're at 0% health. There is a percentage of them dying. It's not like they're guaranteed to die. There's a percentage chance of them dying if you get down to 0% health. Now, we started off with Maize Plus, so even though there's some feed for the sheep, they're actually down to 0% health. Now, I assumed because they had feed, that it would have been fine. So I went into the menu. If I just quickly show you, I went into the game settings menu, and if we look at animals can die from the enhanced animal system mod. So can they die? I enabled that to on. because obviously I assumed that everything would be okay now, because I've got some TMR for the calves, obviously got TMR kind of mix for the heifers out in the field, but then my sheep and my ram and, you know, my lambs and stuff, they had full feed. But the problem was, if we have a look in the menu, it doesn't actually still give them any health. So they're at age 0 months for the sheep, and obviously the 8 months for these sheep. Sorry, the lambs are at 0 month, the rams are at 12, and you can tell that the health is still at 0%. Now that's because we need to give them some protein silage, moisture food, and power food. Now, ideally with the cows, we can do a TMR mix, for example, and everything's fine. However, for the sheep, it looks like it's a little bit more in depth. We've got to do a little bit more work to get them, obviously, at that range to make the health start going up. So what we're going to do is we're going to trial this out, because I'm not 100% certain if I need to feed all 4 categories. It could just be the top 2. We'll bring this up to like 50%, for example. If that's good enough for me until we bring in the other types of feed, that's fine. Now, just to give you a bearing of what these options are we can feed. So protein silage is either clover silage, alfalfa silage, which both you can't make, you have to buy, so we'd have to purchase that, and we're struggling for money right now, so that's probably not a good idea. But then there's whole crop silage, something we are going to make, so we can feed whole crop silage in this protein silage category. We've also got hay, alfalfa hay, clover hay, and hay pellets. Technically we're going to be doing hay, so this is the roughage, we don't need to worry about that. These top 2 here, they'll be easy to kind of manage. However, moisture food, the options are carrots, so we'd have to buy them. Sugar beet cuts, we could do that, but it's a little bit more work, and we haven't got any sugar beet at the moment. Beet pulp and BP silage, or fresh maize. Now we will have maize, but we're going to turn it into maize silage. We're going to ferment it in the bunker, so it's probably going to be a little bit tricky to hold on to some fresh maize. And then there's potato cut. Now, out of them options there, BP silage is probably the best bet, because I'm sure I can use it in a TMR mix for the cows. So we might have to buy that in bulk, store it somewhere on the yard as if it was a feed we're buying in from, you know, a supplier for the farm. So we could look at BP silage for that, which is basically beet pulp silage. We could buy it in. So probably a good idea to do that. Or beet pulp, we could try and buy that in. Either or, we'll figure it out. And then finally, power food is grain grist, which we can make ourselves. Again, a little bit of work, but I think grain grist you can do by having some crop types like the cereal crops, and you can mill it down yourself, so we'd have to buy another piece of kit for that. Mineral feed, which is obviously really easy because we can buy some mineral feed and get some pallets of that, or even some big bags, put it into TMR mix for cows, and we can also feed it to the sheep, so that's a good option. And then we've got beet pellets. So I kind of like mineral feed for the bottom one, and I think there's 3 there that are easily done. It's just the moisture food one is probably the one we should be looking at, and trying to figure that out. So let's just have a look if we can quickly just jump into the TMR mixer, just so we get a better understanding of this and a bit of a plan of what to aim for, because we're going to be just having on this farm sheep and cows, and sheep can turn over some really decent amounts of wool. And the good thing about this mod that I'm using, the enhanced animal mod, is it allows sheeps now. So when a sheep is pregnant and it's, you know, obviously going to have lamb, it's no longer guaranteed to just have one lamb. It could be it has multiple lambs. The pigs can have a litter, you know, of piglets popping out. So it's not always just one. It's quite random, which I do like, because you can have one sheep that all of a sudden you just had 3 lambs, and you know, all of a sudden you've got loads of sheep, and you have the option as well to overcrowd the pens. So even though a pen might only hold 50, you can overcrowd. And just to quickly show you that, if you see the option here, allow overcrowding, so in that, and then you can prevent overcrowding. Now I'd have to look again into the mod, but I don't know if it has a negative effect if I do allow overcrowding. Maybe it gives it a little bit of a chance of some of to die, but again, if it gets to the point where I'm overcrowding, I'm probably just going to sell some of the lambs off anyway, or even some of the sheep off. Right, so now we've got this menu. If we just bring up the F1 menu, we should be able to see here off mixture down below. And if we change it to, we're going to do a realistic mixture for our milkers and our heifers, so they're going to have like this realistic mixture. And if you can tell there, pretty much the only thing it definitely requires is a minimum of 10% maize silage and 10% grass silage. So that's all we need to apply. Everything else then we can add in, just mix and match, as long as we don't go over the maximum of all the other categories. So it's a really good one to focus on. So we'll do that for obviously our milkers and our heifers, and then there's a nice one here as well for young stock, and they just need a bit of straw, a bit of hay, and a bit of grass silage. That's the ones that are minimum. And then on top we can add the extra stuff. Now the one that I'm going to look at is the realistic mixture, because if we go over here it will tell us our options, minimums and maximums, and I know that's a lot of information to take in, but this is the beauty of Maize Plus and having a more realistic feeding mixture. And obviously with nutrients and the details that go into animal feeding in the real life world of farming, it is quite an important part to focus on, because obviously milkers want to get higher butter fat content for the milk, so they get more money and better quality milk prices and all that kind of stuff. And the same for the sheep and everything, try and fatten them up. Could be the fact you're doing some beef cattle and you want to fatten them up and stuff like that. So it is realistic farming. It's the way I like to play. So we're going to try and do it the best we can with obviously with the inputs we're going to get from our farm as well. So let's just have a quick look at that. And if we remember about the sheep on our moisture food category, if we just have a quick look for anything that says BP silage, because that's the one that we could use for moisture food for the sheep, and if we could obviously use it as well for putting it into the feed mix as well for the cows, and then we'll get two uses out of it. So it kind of makes sense to try and buy it, but we also need to make sure we can purchase it and not make it ourselves, because if we do need to make it ourselves, then we're obviously going to have to go down the sugar beet route, which we could do. It's not an issue, but obviously it's a bit more work to maintain, and it'd be nice to have the option to buy that in bulk and just store it away. So let's have a look. So you've got beet pulp category, and then you've got in the input section BP silage and beet pulp. So either one of them would work with the moisture food category for the sheep. So that's something we need to look into. We could probably place down, I know with Maize Plus there is a few options where you can place down for free as well, some kind of places where they sell some of the feed types and the additives that you can put in. So let's just have a look at this quickly. That's costs money, so it won't be that one. Salo extensions maybe. It's not that one. It's definitely something. I've seen it. There you go. So there, the £1. So in this one, you've got a Dioica. I don't even want to try and pronounce that, but you know what I'm saying. That one is £1, so that's obviously a filling station, so we can buy. Then we've got beet pulp and brewer's grain, so we can buy beet pulp, and that's an option. So maybe we go and buy beet pulp. We could place that down to the store, and then every time we want to go and buy it, we buy beet pulp in the bulk. That's a sentence and a half. We buy beet pulp in the bulk, and then we obviously bring it back to the farm. We'll place that probably near to the store, so it's a bit of a trek, a bit more realistic, but it's nice to have the option. And beet pulp is one of the options for the sheep and the moisture food, but also if we go onto this, you can see that beet pulp there is an option for us, and the good thing about it, we can go up to 30% on that. So every mix we do, we could buffer it to up to 30%. So that's really good. I wonder if we could actually put that in with the young stock. Can we put beet pulp in? Can we do that? It doesn't look like it. Straw and silage and hay is the minimum, and even that, when it says silage and I said grass silage, we could actually use maize silage as well. It's not just grass silage, we could use maize silage as well. That is good to know, that really is. I do like this. This is going to be a lot of detail into the game now, enhancing it. Where's the silage? Let's have a look at the minimum again on this. So 10% minimum grass silage, which is definitely just grass silage, and then maize silage is obviously just maize silage, and the rest you can just go crazy with, pretty much. So yeah, beet pulp's the way to go. We're going to have to buy some beet pulp, and by doing that we can feed the cows and we can feed the sheep. We can do some whole crop silage as well to put into both types of feed for both animals, and we definitely need some hay, and then we're pretty much just going to buy ourselves, like I said, some beet pulp and some mineral feed, because mineral feed is something we're going to have to buy in. So two of the inputs for the sheep are going to be purchased, and the other two we're going to produce on the farm. So at least I've got that in my head now. We've made a bit of a plan on that. So let's stop faffing about, let's stop chatting, and let's get these fields mowed. Definitely going to need to do that. We will just use the Valtra because it's the beefiest tractor and it'll do the job well. I think main man over here has hit the tree that I was supposed to take out. Yes, he's having some fun over there, wasting my money on that blooming tree. 2 seconds, bro. Let me just get chainsaw out on this one. I'd love to just delete it out, that would be nice. I don't think I can though. I think it's one of them options where I'm going to have to chop her down, unfortunately. Unless, let's see if I can... Does it work? There you go. There we go. Super strength, enable that. Tree's just gone, mate. There you go. Crack on. Might have to do that on a few in the fields. Luckily there's not another one in here. But yeah, it's probably just wasted a bit of my cash doing that. Anyway, let's go get the mower out and we'll start mowing these fields. It's going to be a bit of a task. We're just going to try and do as much as we possibly can. Hopefully it won't take too long. And we'll just work our way across the edge of the field. And we'll probably leave a bit of a grass boundary on the edge. It is that field to the left as well, so that's good to know. We have got that field over there to chop. Any trees that are just sitting there a bit annoying, I'll get rid of them. The ones on the edge like this I'm not too fussed about, but anything in the middle we'll get rid of them, just because it's probably going to be a bit of an issue when it comes to course play as well, so why not? But yeah, we're going to be busy mowing now. 3 fields to get through. Probably shut that gate as well. But not too bad so far. I mean, if we bring the map up, it should give me a bit of detail as well of the yield. We're about half, 50% of what it could be. So, not perfect, but obviously not the worst as well. The grass, it's crazy. Can't even see my tyres on the tractor. Right, so that's that field all mowed up, ready to go. So we will get back into that field in a second. I have decided as well that probably the best thing to do, because of the time that's already gone in the video, is to focus just on my one grass field, and then I'll do the other 2 in between this field and the next. So I have definitely mowed up and sorted out the other 2. But what I did notice is that tractor there, the Massey, was struggling so much with this that I decided to put, I'm going to put the Valtra now on this, and we're going to try our very best to carry on, because I do want to get these fields all mulched up. So yeah, it's important we do that. But let's save this course. It's field 150. We can actually delete that now because I don't need that. So let's create new folder, field 150. This one and that one. change the mode, delete that entry. Yep, and delete the role play. There we go. So in this one now, go back to change mode, save the course, activate that folder. We're going to call it 4.7 meter mulch. So we know we've got that one all sorted out. So then we can clear that off in here because we're not going to need that now. That tractor should be fine, really. So I mean, it's our second most powerful tractor, so I'm hoping it is to do the mowing. Fingers crossed anyway. So let's now load this course up. There we go, job done. And I think if we just reverse a little bit and maybe bring up the route. He did start on, yeah, he started on the headland passes here, so nearest waypoint, off you go. How are you getting on? Much better. There we go. So at least we know that it is the power that's what's stopping it from cracking on with that. Right, so let's get back over to this. We're going to go and set up a course play now again with this, but with Tedder. It's actually stuck in manual, which is strange because I've got it set to automatic gears. But do you know what? If it starts off in F, we'll keep it in F. And this is a bit of a strange one. Yeah, look, we are starting off in F gear. But do you know what? It was working so far. Maybe that's why it struggled. Maybe it was something to do with the gears. Maybe that course did mess it up a little bit, but yeah, it'll be alright. As long as he's got enough juice to get through this field tedding, he should be alright. I've just seen that tractor then flying. I was thinking, is he going through the field at like a rapid rate there? But he's not, he's actually on the track, so must have had to go all the way around the field. But yeah, you can see that he's driving up through the track now. We'll come up here, through the yard, down here. Happy days. That's not too bad. And you can see that some of it's mulch. I mean, he's missed a few spots there. That's not too bad, is it? I mean, I'm happy enough with that. And we'll wait. Well, I'll tell you what we'll do. We'll wait it out. I know the video's gone on for quite some time, but I am making these videos a little bit longer than I normally would. Probably double the episodes, just because a lot of the time, half an hour just doesn't seem long enough to get everything done. So let's just see how he gets on. I'm hoping he just flies through. Doesn't hit anything that I've parked in the way. We'll find out. He's got a front weight and a mulcher on the back, so bit of a task. But look at that, perfect so far. Ah, he says that, and then obviously I've kind of parked a bit of a tractor in the way. So let's just quickly scoot this out of the way for him. There you go, buddy. Crack on. You're not going to hit that trailer, are you? Yeah, what? You're joking. Let's move the trailer out of the way then. It's good to know, though, for the future that, you know, you probably should clear out some of the track area, the path of the... Right, so hoping now I can just... He's kind of made it a bit difficult for me, I will be honest. There you go, buddy. I was hoping that that's enough for you. Please don't hit anything else. He says that, and then instantly he's like, you've got a pallet here. I can't go around it. It's too difficult. Right, let's just, while it's doing this, we're just going to have to faff about a little bit, aren't we? We'll get there in the end, I promise you. You stay there for me. Worker 8 has completed its task as well. Wow, it really is sensing a lot of collisions along this path. Where are you going? not entirely sure what it's sensed this time. I know this is laid out obviously a little bit different. Is it that? Wow. Auto drive, come on. Might have to see if I can change some settings on that because it was a little bit too sensitive for me. Right, so he's definitely going to get there now anyway. A very cautious driver, I will say that. Right, so everything's set up, finally, we're all good and going. We got there. So I have saved the courses. I've got a 7 metre row and a 6.9 metre TED for 144, and then obviously the mulch in 4.7 mulch, sorry, in 150. I've got the mulch that's going on currently in this 143 field, and he's doing a good job, so he has got himself there eventually, and he started doing the mulching, which is good to see. So all we need to do now is pretty much drive down to the store, and place down this salad. I'm just trying to think of the best place to put this. There's a dairy there, there's a mart there. Animal dealer might be a good place because you'd buy feed from an animal dealer. Carpentry, probably not the best place. Spuds. There's the store itself. I'm going to say the best place to put this. We'll have a look at this place because it sells everything, and if not, we'll go to the animal dealership, which isn't too much of a drive anyway, so that's not too bad. I kind of like the idea of that. And then we should have this field here all rowed up so we can actually get some baling done as well. We can even use course plates for that as long as it follows the same path we've got for the row. But we'll get there. We're getting there. We're doing something, and that's the main thing. And I have decided as well, probably all the gates to all my fields I'm going to take out in GE and replace with the double gates, the extra ones, just to make it easier getting in and out of the fields, and we'll remove some of the hedges around as well. I think that's probably the best bet. But as you can see, we've picked up quite a bit of hay from this field. We're doing well. We really are. And I do want as well at the end to just test out to see if we can improve the sheep and try and bring their health up. So we might have to go and buy just the one bale of whole crop silage and maybe one pallet of mineral feed. But let's first go and buy ourselves some beet pulp, because that's going to come in handy definitely. I mean, money isn't shooting down too much. I'm hoping that it stays alright. I mean, if I have to take a loan, I will. I mean, is that a camera for the weight? I think that was, you know. Yeah, if I have to take a loan out just to pay for feed over the winter months, we'll have to do that. It is the challenge I've set, so it's probably best to do that. Look at that in the distance there, that little kind of mill. I like that. That's pretty nice. Nice feature to the map. So this looks like the first place, which is the sell anything. So we can sell anything here. That's pretty much what it says on the tin. So I expect that's what we can do. Traffic. No, all good. So we may as well see if we can plonk it in over here, because there's enough space for us, and why not put it here? So, construction. And if we put it... So we want beet pulp, and land is not owned by you. How do we fix that then? Let's see if we can fix that quickly. Does that cost anything? No, it doesn't cost a thing. So we may as well do that anyway, because that's probably like BGA and all that kind of stuff. Let's try now. Construction. Go to containers. And we want this one, which is the beet pulp. I think it would be alright if we just reverse in. I mean, if we can get the loop round, we could. But then again, there's no exit on that side. Yeah, I think we'll just reverse into this point and place it just there. Probably make that look a little bit better as well. Get some painting on the go here. What have we got before? Maybe not that one. Just to try and make it blend in a little bit more. That's all. Yeah, I think that looks better. Definitely. So, let's see how much it's going to cost to get ourselves some beet pulp. Reverse back in, and then we've got to try and get back up the hill with a load of beet pulp. If it's not too expensive, we'll fill this up to the max, because we may as well. It's not going down too bad, that isn't. I'm happy with that. So let's fill this up, we may as well. It's going to come in handy anyway, we're going to make the most of it. And it's obviously going to improve the cows when we do the TMR mix, and obviously the sheep as well, so it's nice to have the option. I mean, we're 50% full, and we've got 12,000 litres, and I might just stop it there. That was only £563 as well, which isn't bad, so it's about £1,000 to fill it up, roughly. But I just don't want it to be too heavy and struggle to get back up the hill, so let's just try it with about the 64% load, which still is a bit of a struggle for this smaller John Deere. I think it's got 120 under the bonnet, the John Deere, and then the Massey's got the 140. See, there's some cows in there as well, which is what makes me think that I'm somehow generating a bit of milk and it's automatically selling because of the mod I've got. So I'm going to have to remove some of these cows, and I'll do that as well in between this episode and the next. So I'm going to be busy in between this episode and the next one. I'm going to have to sort of 2 grass fields out, remove a load of fences, gates in GE, and then obviously put some new ones in its place. But look at that view. Every time I come up here, this drive, in that view, and even with this tractors out in the fields, it's a beautiful map, it really is. Stunning. Right, so we might hit a problem here. This John Deere is begging for a bit of help. It's struggling to get up this hill. So welcome back. The field is done. We've got a good amount of hay bales sitting there. Some went on a little adventure. And travelled down to the bottom of the hill in the field. And now I am actually, for the first time, glad that I've got collisions on the hedges, because it stopped it from exiting the field. But yeah. At least it's done, and the mulching we've done a good job of. I mean, even the Valtra in that field, the second field, struggled. It was sliding around a bit, so yeah, that is going to be tricky to maintain. I'm probably going to hit again the roof, which I think it is. Oh my god, it's just the right height. Perfect. So the beet pulp is being just dropped in here. I think this is the best place for it. I have been down to the store and bought myself a bale of clover silage, and the reason I went with clover silage instead of the whole crop, because that's what we're actually going to be using, is it was like 1700 for whole crop and 560 for clover, but they'll still work the same way. And then I've obviously just taken one of the hay bales we've just done. You can see the difference in size from the 150 to the 125, so yeah, we're going to have some big hay bales. I have mentioned previously I prefer it that way because I'm handling less bales than over time. So, ooh, brakes aren't that good on that. But it's been a bit of a crazy episode. A lot's gone on. I've had a few problems along the way, but I'm just thankful by the time we got to the end of it, we've actually made progress in the areas I wanted to, so thank God for that. We definitely mulched both of them fields, and we've mowed and rowed and tedded and baled up one field for hay, and we're going to do another one, and then we'll finish off with one field of silage, and then we'll start working on that as well. So probably behind the scenes now, I'll try my best to get a lot done, especially the prep work that needs to happen on the fields. Right, so 3,500 litres of clover silage, which is technically equivalent to the whole crop we're going to be feeding to the sheep. So let's just plonk this in here. I'm hoping that's taken quite a bit. You can see there's bits that he's missed when he's been sliding around, but do you know what? The majority of that for me is mulch. Probably personally that might drive me insane, but I can get over that. Let's have a look at the animals. That's it. I forgot what I was doing. So yeah, it's gone up. You can see 3,500 litres in there. If I speed up time by an hour, let's just see where we get to. So past the hour, has it gone up? No, currently not. So there's a bit of beet pulp now in there. You can see that that's 3 of the categories filled up, and it's just power food. That's all that remains. So what I'll do is I'll speed up time a little bit just to confirm that it is all 4, and then I think we can happily say that we definitely need to get some mineral feed for these sheep to start getting a little bit of health, which is a bit of a weird one in my opinion, because I've supplied these sheep now with 3 different types of feed. You think that they're definitely not going to die, are they? So, bit of a weird one. Not realistic in my opinion, but, you know, we'll work with it the best we can. Let's skip time to probably the morning now. It's not like we're going to need anything. We're still going to stay in September. No more space for wool. See, that's definitely on a different place, because I am producing no wool, as you've seen, because I'm at 0%. So the health has shot up to 78%. So we've got 3 categories here, and it's shot up, so that's good to see. So it might have been that it needed just the 2. So we'll test that out even more, but it's good to know that we don't actually need to feed all 4 categories. These have shot up now, and yeah, we can start generating some wool. But it's weird how it says it's got no wool. I hope that's not mine, because we've got plenty of room there for wool. Plenty of room. Yeah, we'll figure it out. We'll figure it out. Still learning along the way. Like I said, in the next episode, I'm going to change out all the fences. Get back in. What are you doing? Go on. Get back in. Yeah, I'm going to change out all the gates, should I say, not fences, and replace them with the bigger ones. We'll do some GE work on that. And yeah, I'll make sure the other 2 fields are chopped up, mowed, and all that kind of good stuff. I can't get up there. And then hopefully we can start working on the fields, making sure they're improving precision farming wise, starting to park some of this, all these tractors that are floating about the place now, and equipment, and replanting as well, because this one here, for example, we can start replanting to grass. This one we can actually start working on and get some crop in the ground for maybe some. I think these 2 I'm going to do for profit, so maybe maize in this one, whole crop in that one, and then grass galore over here, just because I'm going to need quite a lot of silage, and quite a lot of hay as well. So I think that's going to be the majority of my feed mixes for both animals types. So it is what it is. Let's just see how we get on. The sheep are going to be a problem though. They're not easy enough to feed, and I think I might have to modify that in the XML personally, because yeah, I mean, it's a lot of work for sheep that usually just you can leave them out all year in a field of grass and they're quite happy and content. So I understand the cows because they do require a lot more sophisticated diet. But the sheep, really, yeah, I'd say give them some grass and they're happy. So maybe getting that grazing mod working might even be the way to go for sheep. But I think that's a good point for me to end the video on. It has been a long one again, and hopefully you've enjoyed it. If you have, please give it a thumbs up because that does help my channel out. And if you're new, don't forget to hit that subscribe button for more videos just like this one on Farming Simulator.